Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Stacia, and I'm just a girl on the internet that likes to talk about movies and another Christmas movie this week. This week, we are going to do The Bishop's Wife from 1947. The Bishop's Wife stars Cary Grant as the angel Dudley, Loretta Young as Julia, the bishop's wife in question, and David Niven as the Bishop Henry himself. The basic plot of The Bishop's Wife is that a debonair angel, played by Cary Grant, named Dudley, comes to Earth to help an Episcopalian bishop and his wife in their quest to raise money for their new church. And Dudley isn't only there to help with their fundraising. The bishop is losing sight of his family and why he became a churchman in the first place. And Dudley is sent in to help him with that. Dudley also helps everyone he meets, but not necessarily. He doesn't offer his help in necessarily the way that the people that need the help would have preferred. And everybody loves him for it, except Henry, the bishop. He starts to become paranoid about Dudley and think he's actually there to replace him. And this is all set around Christmas time. The Bishop's Wife is based on a 1928 novel named The Bishop's Wife, and that novel was written by Robert Nathan. Now, originally David Niven was cast as the angel Dudley. Dean Andrews was cast as the bishop, and Teresa Wright was cast as the wife. Now, through a series of events, Teresa Wright dropped out because she got pregnant, and RKO ended up loaning Loretta Young out in her place with a deal for them to use Dean Andrews. And that's when Cary Grant was brought in. And Cary Grant was originally supposed to star as the husband, and David Niven was, of course, like I said, going to play the angel, but then those roles were swapped. And Cary Grant liked the idea of himself playing the angel. Now, this film faced several difficulties during production. So it was originally directed by William A. Sider, and the film was produced by Samuel Goldwyn Studios. Samuel Goldwyn himself, after seeing some of the dailies that were coming back, did not like what was being shot. So he fired the director, and Henry Koster was brought in and basically makes a completely different film. And in early previews for audiences, which they set up a lot this time, even with very few things being filmed, the audiences also disliked the film. They brought in some writers that are uncredited for the screenplay. So Billy Wilder was brought in, and Charles Brackett were brought in to make some uncredited rewrites on the script. And the film premieres and was acclaimed by critics. They loved the movie, so it was a critical success. But initially, the box office returns were off. And market research goes to show, because of the title of the movie, The Bishop's Wife, people didn't come to see the film because they thought it was going to be a religious film. And while there are religious aspects to the film, it is far from being a religious film. No more than any other Christmas film made during that time. So as a result, in some markets, Samuel Goldwyn decided to rename the film Cary and the Bishop's Wife to sort of capitalize on the presence of Cary Grant in the movie. And they also added a little tagline in the form of a question: "Have you heard about Cary and the Bishop's Wife?" And that appeared on the posters for the marketing of the film. So by adding Cary Grant's name to the actual title of the film, they saw a 25% increase in box office returns. So that is a demonstration of the power of the stardom that Cary Grant had. So it ended up being a box office hit, a critical hit, and a hit at the Academy Awards, getting 5 Oscar nominations. It only won 1, of those Oscar nominations, but it was nominated for Best Sound Recording, which is the one that it won. Best Scoring of a Dramatic or Comedy Picture, Best Film Editing, Best Director, and Best Motion Picture. So something that was also unique about this movie, and yes, it was filmed part of it on soundstage in Los Angeles at Samuel Goldwyn Studios, but it also had scenes filmed on location. And back in the 1940s, most films were filmed at the studio, but it was filmed on location in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And across the pond in England, this movie was actually picked as the second movie to be chosen for a Royal Command performance and premiered at the Odeon Cinema in London on November 25th, 1947. Its American premiere was at the Astor Theater in New York City. All of the production delays and reshooting of the movie that Samuel Goldwyn himself didn't like cost him about, or not him, but the movie studio that has his name, about $900,000, which it does go back and recoup the money because the film was such a huge hit at the time. But $900,000 in the late 40s is a significant amount of money to lose on a film that had begun production, was filming. But I guess in the end, that's better than filming a whole movie and everybody hating it. But they did end up making their money back. And this movie has quite a connection to the movie It's a Wonderful Life. Robert J. Anderson, who played young George in It's a Wonderful Life, is also in this movie, playing a defense captain. But Carolyn Grimes, who plays Debbie in this movie, also played Zuzu in It's a Wonderful Life, George and Mary's daughter. And Sarah Edwards, who plays Mrs. Duffy in this movie, also played Mrs. Hatch in It's a Wonderful Life. And yes, The Bishop's Wife has been remade. It was remade in 1996 under the title The Preacher's Wife, starring Denzel Washington as Dudley, Whitney Houston and Courtney B. Vance play the bishop and the bishop's wife. And that movie was directed by Penny Marshall. And the movie The Preacher's Wife was also produced by Samuel Goldwyn Jr., the son of Samuel Goldwyn. So all in all, I think 1947's The Bishop's Wife is a worthy Christmas movie to watch. It's charming and inspirational. It's one of those movies where somebody kind of has strayed upon the path that they were on and that needs to find themselves in the end. It is a beautiful comedic performance also by Cary Grant, and he has all of his Cary Grant charm, as well as wonderful performances of Loretta Young and David Niven. It is one of those old Christmas movies that is sure to warm your heart and help you get into the Christmas spirit. So it is definitely a worthy Christmas movie for the season. And it perhaps doesn't get as much love as It's a Wonderful Life or Miracle on 34th Street, but I promise, if you have never seen it, give it a chance. I think you will like it just as much as those other two. But my name is Stacia. Thank you for joining me this week. I will see you next week. I love you all. Bye.